Welcome back everybody, it's part 3, enjoy. Right, back to this section here. I've now clipped those down. I didn't want to treat you like you're stupid and show you how to put these clips on, as I've already showed you there. But this section's all back together now. I've added that bit on, so that's all in line. And now I've got my needle valve. So this is a stainless steel needle valve, good quality. It shows which arrow it is going, and that is going to regulate my waste, which you'll see at a later date. Anyway, I need that to fit in this line, approximately all in around the same line. It's nice to keep everything like equal, shall we say, in life. And what I've got is to attach this, yeah, to the 3/8. That is a 3/8 fitting. There's many fittings you can get, but I like to use my local tool station or screw fits, because I'll just go and get it. And if I need any more, I'm going to get some more. Anyway, again, I have got a 3/8 compression straight, and I just took the 2 nuts off again, don't need them. And I'm just going to use that just to go into there. I will put some PTFE tape on it as per usual, and then I've got a 15mm to 3/8 bush. So that basically, it makes it bigger. I know this is a bit stupid, it sounds stupid, but once I put that on there, PTFE on there, I fix that to that. That's all going to sit there like that. I'll do the same both sides, you'll see in a minute anyway. And that will sit there like that. And then I've got these fittings that will go on that, which I've already got. And they are 1/2 inch, 15mm, basically, to 3/8, 10mm. Yeah, and that will just screw onto there, lovely. Nicely done. That tightens up nice onto the rubber. That will sit back there. I'll get it just right so that might, again, that it sits on there all in line nicely. And that will just connect to there. So again, bit of pipe in between, and plus it just makes them look quite even. So that's what I'm going to do. And you pop back. These will all be PTFE'd up. I will cut a bit of pipe in between the two, have that all in line. A couple of clips in between just to hold it down in position. And on to the next bit. So again, as you can see, PTFE up, PTFE, wound it in. On this one, I actually put on 6 wraps of PTFE because it's a metal fitting, so it takes a bit more tightening up than it does on these plastic ones for some reason that are over here where I didn't put any on. So I have put 6 wraps on there and it's gone in bang on. I just wanted to be safe than sorry on here, but there's not, as I say, it's I'll get this one done as well. So I'll just release that for a minute, and what I'll do is, again, I'll PTFE both of these up. As you can see, it slots on there. Just go off quickly. There we go. Nip it off. I'll PTFE these up and get it back together again. So yeah. So as you see, we're getting there. So there we go. Both ends put together. We're going to slot that straight in that area there. That's all neatly in line. So what we'll do now, as you see, I've got all that made up in position roughly where I want it. So shall we get it exactly where I want it? Which I'm quite, well, actually I want it in line with that other valve, but it's never going to be exactly the same because the valve's offset. This is slightly offset as well. But I'm happy with that. That's where I want it, so them two are in line. So very happy with that. So what I will do is I will set, I want all these the same way as round as well. So I keep all these clipping over the same way. It's a personal thing, just so I know that when I want to undo one, if I need to undo one, they always unclip the same way. Yeah, a bit OCD I know, but that's me on this sort of thing. Right, so screw in there, still in line, hold it in position. Number one. Same again. Stop her turning about. Move it out of the way actually. And that is all in line. Back to where I want it. Now what I'll do is, not so sure on the depth on these. I know these ones how deep they go. They go in line with the other, with the T that runs off of it. So I know, right on here it's basically I would say 3mm past the end of the bulbous bit. So basically there. So I know that there is where this pipe fits into. This side I'm not so sure on. So what I'll do is, I'll do the bottom one first by just pushing that bit in, because I don't use these anywhere near as much as I use these fittings. So maybe when I've done a few more, for maybe if anyone wants one built or something, and I do a few more of these, then I won't even have to worry about thinking about it. But I'm trying to show you. So for me, I would just normally just cut it, and it would normally be fine, shall we say. But because I'm trying to show you, I'm marking it and trying to help you guys a little bit. Anyway, so I've marked it in line with that one. Again, with the old cutters. I know I've showed you this all before, but as you go down the mark, little turn, won't hurt it. It just gives a much better cut. What we'll do is, we'll push that in position, and that clipped in lovely, as you could hear. Same again, right? So I know, again, this end, there's my mark there, but I'll push it into this end. Do up tight again. Don't always remember, have these loose, like I said before, then tighten them up. And then I know that one clicks in perfect, as I can see it did. There's my marks. My mark is there. So let's put my pencil mark on there. Cutters again. This one obviously you still can turn it, because obviously this all moves on the cutter line, and cut it off. Bit of moisture on there. Lift that up in the air, that one up. Bend it about as much as you want. It's quite bendable, as you can see, and push it till it goes in position. Clip it down, over, done. So that is that now. The whole section, all nice and sturdy as well. I will put another clip down here. Once I do my T's, I'll have another clip down here. But yeah, I'm very happy with that. I don't need any more brackets on it. It's not going anywhere. It will stay in position on the wall. If I said over this way, you could clip these down if you wanted to in between here. Personally, I'm not going to. I don't need to, because when you change the cartridges, it's just a bit of a hassle getting it unclipping all this when you want to disconnect it a little bit. So I won't be doing that. So the next job we're on to is down here. I'm going to fit the pressure release valve. So back to you in a minute. Right, onto this outlet. I've now got my pressure gauge. So the monitor, I need to be up around the 8 bar, 9 bar, around that area. Pump through here, so it's all quite adjustable to get what I need via the valve here. So stainless steel T, as you see, 316 stainless steel. Some people love a bit of stainless steel, don't they? Let's get the T off of there. First things first, I've already BTFE around there already, as you can see. Straight connector, BTFE'd up. A little bit different this time. I've got a straight connector, but this is a compression one. So this is going to attempt, this is 3/8 10 mil. So I'm going to do a compression on this bit out of that T to the first cartridge, okay, not one of the other connectors, because this is where the main pressure is at. So I want a better, let's say a better fitting that I know is can withstand the pressure better. Anyway, same as always, that goes into the first bit. We'll tighten that up. As you can see, I removed all this top section. It would have been done second under normal conditions, but because I never had the fit in, I've done it in reverse fashion. But now I'll say I've removed it. We'll get this on and we'll click crack in. So quite awkward actually from under here. What I'll do is I'll probably change my screw, the spanner. Not the easiest. What we'll do is we'll wind that on as well. And I'll probably better use both to tighten it up. There we go. Make my job a bit easier, doesn't it? It's a lot better, isn't it? Or some of you start screaming down the old screen at me saying, why aren't you doing it that way? Well, I am now. Let me get that done up nicely. Got some grips over here actually. I think I'll use the grips, it might be a bit quicker. Until I'm ready to tighten it right up. Let's keep it going. So there we go. Don't over tighten these. I'm always honest, first time I did it and it went too far around. Once you go too far around, you've got to take it back out, re-PTFE it up with another 16 wraps, and then just get it to where finished stage where you want it. Then this one can just then go in a lot easier there. I'll give that a little tighten up. Get that round till it's in line, and that'll do me on this one. It's always nice and tight anyway. Right. Don't want to overforce things. I'll have that facing up a bit as well, so I'm looking down, because the ball's going to be all, that's going to be facing down a bit. So we'll have that facing up to me slightly. Right, so that's that bit onto there, and there's the 10mm 3/8 bit. And we'll have that put into there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hold that down and put some pressure on there while I tighten this up as well. Actually, what I will do, tell a lie, I'll hold it with a pair of grips. So I don't want this T moving at all now. It's in position where I want it. So let me tighten this up a bit more first before it starts moving. Again, these don't have to be fully tightened up right in. So when they feel nice and tight, that's good enough. As you can see, I don't think you need another grips. It's quite going in there quite nicely, tighten up very smoothly. I'll just hold my hand there just to stop it going in. This one will tighten right in, like this one did. We've got a nice seal there. Beautiful. Now with this one, we're going to use the nut and the olive. And a bit of pipe, which I will cut to length first. Let's grab a little bit of pipe. Looks like it's long enough to me. I know that that can actually go on a little bit of an angle if we wanted to, but I want to keep it as straight as possible. So that doesn't need a lot off of it, looking at that. Put a little pencil mark on there. I'm looking just under 10mm to take off of that one, just for it to slot in nicely. Again, on the mark. Turn your pipe at the same time. Beautiful. Now with this one, slightly a bit different. Put my that over there and that on there. And what I'll do, we'll actually fix this in. So just push that into there. And get that into this bit here. Push my olive up, and then we're going to put some jointy compound again. Put plenty of it around here this time, so we know 100% sealed up. And we'll tighten down. Spanner on that. Nice and tight. We'll put all this back together and we'll move on to the next stage. So right, just positioning where I'm going to put the sockets and so on. So I want this one here in between there and the pump, if you can see what I'm saying. The reason is I want it there is I've already set it, I've put some marks around it. So I've set it down, put some marks around it so I don't lose where I want it. Approximately there again, so back to where it was. And then I've got these, see, so I've got my plug that shows all my wattages, and I've got my vary speed, which is going to slow that pump down to stop using so many wattage. Yeah, so I'll probably get that down to about 180, maybe lower, if I tweak it enough. That's the plan. So that I want to screw onto this position here. Yeah, so from above, that's all looking neat, and that gives that time to plug into that one there. And I've still got a spare point there as well if I use it for anything else. Never have enough plugs, can you? And then over to here, this is where I'm going to set my digimeters. So again, I've marked, so as you can see, there's marks there. Squared them all up using the old trusty square. So get the old square out again. Get that in position. And once I get all these moved and get that squared up, there we go. I'll push them down there, or I know they're all square then. So that's all square to that side. Yeah, so they're all the same. And then I've got another plug socket going to go up there, which again, that is going to be to run my two solenoids. Yeah, which will then also be put on timers. Now those I will be using the Tapos. I use a Tapo system. I use it on my pond as well. It's run through Alexa, and I can set as many times as I want throughout the day for these solenoids to open and shut as many times as they want to. So I'm only going to need one on there, basically. Two. One's for opening it and one's for open for flushing at different times. You can put another one on if you want to put another one on the out as well, but I don't see a need to do that because it's only going to come through one end. So yeah, I'm just going to have the one solenoid there that pushes it all through. So what I'll do is I'll get all these fixed down. These are back boxes. Let me move that out of the way. I'm going to punch that hole out there, punch a couple of holes out so my cable goes straight through the back, so you don't see any of the grey cabling for the I'm using 2.5 cable. Just grab that for you so you can just see what I'm using. So we'll be wiring up. I'll show you how to wire up as well, but we'll be using 2.5. Yeah, cable. So this whole board is basically ready to plug and play. I'm going to attach mine into the ring main, so mine's a little bit different. But yeah, you could put a fuse spur on here, so that basically all you've got to do is wire into the fuse spur, and then these sockets will run off the fuse spur. As long as you've got a 13 amp fuse spur for each one, you could do that. But I'm running, mine will be on a ring main, which I've got out in my filter house. So it will be a plug and play system. I'll just take it out there, cut into my ring main with one of these sockets. So basically all I'm doing is wiring in between that one, and then the top socket or the bottom socket, whichever is closest to my ring main, I will run into that. So yeah, that's how I'm going to run mine. And I'll show you a bit more as we go. Oh, by the way, I forgot, yeah. So obviously there you digiflow meters that push back into those, and then I've got my TDS meter there, which I'm going to sit nice and neatly there. So it's in between the whole lot, sitting there neatly there. And again, these cables here, I think I'll probably go through a hole here and then come out down the bottom where they need to be, because there's a lot of cable there, and I just want it looking a little bit neat. Even with these ones, there's so much cable. I'll probably just drill a hole below just so I can poke the cable behind and then come back up where I need to come up, just to keep it a little bit more streamlined. So yeah, that's where I'm at on the stage of finishing off all the little bits and pieces to make it look nice and obviously work. But yeah, you can see I'm a lot further on at this point. Right, final few pieces. At last, we're getting there. Right, I've already knocked out the holes, so I'm sure you can see that. You just hit that with a screwdriver or anything, pop out the 4 holes there for your 16mm screws for this job, because we're going into 18mm ply. So I've got 16mm screws. I've set it on there using my square as usual. Sorry now. Pushed it through. Obviously this board was all cut square at the beginning, as we all know. Push it onto the lines, squared it up where I want it. I did pre-mark it, as you've seen, and then again, small little pilot drill and just all 4 screws. Like so. Then obviously your socket's going to go on top of that. This one's going to have the 2 timers, one for the flash valve, one over here which you can't see, you've seen it earlier, for the incoming water from the pond. So that's it will release that solenoid and that solenoid on 2. I'm going to put mine on my Tapo link, so TP links on there. I will drill a hole in the back of there. That will be a 20mm hole in the back of there for the cable to come through nice and neatly, and that will be for that one. Then moving downwards, I'll reset my square so it's not touching any pipework, and that's where I'm going to be placing my dual TDS meter. So as you see, power that's already powered up. This one, it comes already powered up. This one I'm going to be putting in this position here, so it's in line. Everything's in line with the meters, just keeping it all nice and neat, basically. And then below, I'm going to drill a 20mm hole so that I can put my cables, my sensors, through the hole and then come back out further down here where I'm going to be positioning my T-pieces for the TDS meter to connect in. So I'll explain all that at a later date. But anyway, same again, I've marked across, I've put my square on, back plate, put it on there, centralise to where I want it, and then drill 4 holes. I won't show you again, but there's my 4 holes, so that's ready to be fixed there. I'll drill another 20, like I say, another 20mm hole below there. As I come down, again, square. I'll set that where I need to set it to allow my DigiFlow meters, which will get explained how they work later at a later date as well. This one I have already put the batteries in, as you can see. I'll show you how to put them in. It's easy enough. There's a little slot on the side there, so just slide it down, pull that out, and in there you fit your 2 AA batteries each side. Push it back in. Make sure you don't catch the cable. Yeah. And that slides back in, just clicks into place. Push display, you get a 0, obviously because no water's going through the pipes at the moment. Again, these are going to go down in this position here. So we'll have 2 of those there. They both have their own brackets. I have pre-drilled one, so I've set it where I want it, all coming nicely in line. That's all nicely set. So what I will do is, as I've done that one, I'm going to screw that in position. Again, I'm going to use trusted 16mm screws. You'll need quite a few of these out, but yeah, I'm just going to use a 16mm screw. So I'll fix this one down now where I want it. Again, just putting the square on there to make sure it's nice and square to the board. It's all looking very good. Screw it down. That's in position. Grab the second bracket. I had pre-marked this, as you can see. I've done pre-marks already where I want it, so I know that's spread them out neatly to where I want them to go. Push up, push that in position, hold it where I want it, and pre-drill my holes. Again, 16mm screws. Get the top one in. I'll realign all this, make sure it's all nicely in line. From here you can see it's absolutely perfect. So I'll get another screw back into the hole. Neat again. So while I'm at it, like I say, I can just screw all these in position now. It's all been pre-done. I can drill my hole in there, but these are just all nice, just nicely slot in, as you can see. No problem at all. Same with these. just click in. The other one next to it, which I've got there, clicks in. So as you can see, they're all getting nice and neat now. I know these are very close to here, but I've got to hide these cables. I don't want them on show, so I'm going to drill a hole through, just to push all the cable back through, and then just have this little bit showing on the top, just connecting into these two. So the same with this one. I'll probably bring it over, just put one hole and bring them both into the same hole. Hide all the cables behind, and then we'll use some cable clips and attach that to the back. So back to this angle. As I was explaining, I'm going to have to drill a hole to hide. There's quite a lot of cable, as you can see, on these flow meters, and I just don't want it on show on the front. I know it's an RO system that you're not really going to look at, but I want it to look, walk in and think that looks smart. So instead of just clipping all the wires around to here, and just, it's just going to look a proper mess. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill a hole. I was going to put one underneath each one. I'm going to put one in dead in centre. And then both of those cables I'm going to put straight through the back of it, straight through there. And I'm going to drill another 20mm hole in between here for those two cables to go through the back, and then they can all join together behind the back of the board, and then all you'll see is a minimal amount of cabling. Yeah, and as I said on that one there, same there, 20mm hole there, as you can see. That's there, and then I'm going to, down here there'll be two T-pieces. I've not put them in yet because I'm not sure which way I want the water to be running, because obviously till I get it on the wall with my incoming and so on, I've got to have water going back as well. So that will all be done once it's fixed to the wall. I could do it on a board here, which if I was making one up for somebody, I would just fix them there, and then people can just go from where they want from that position. But for me, as I know what I'm doing, I can take this out and do it a little bit more customised to what my needs. But like I say, if I made one of these for you, yeah, we can work that out. Anyway, or if you make one yourself, you do it your own way, whichever suits you. I mean, you don't have to have them in a row like this. You could have like two there and two there, or whatever suits you. You know what I mean? Or one there, one up there, one down here, wherever, to the space you need. So this is the advantage of buying this sort of system, because it's so versatile, shall we say. You can move things about to suit your needs in your filter house. Yeah, can't fault it for that reason. Anyway, yeah, so I've already fixed this one as well. Already drilled the hole through that one, as you can see. That hole goes right through with the 20mm spade bit. So that's right through there. And then this one, I'll wire this up, but I will just clip the wire down. It's only going from there to there. So I'll just clip it down, clip it to the board, nice and neat, and then up to the plug that goes to there. So we'll keep it as neat as possible. And what I'll do is I'll get all these drilled in, top socket, get that hole drilled there, that one fixed as well, the back plate on that. And then next thing I'll come back to is doing a bit of cabling. So just cabling these two pieces up, attaching, I will attach these tees to the board here just to show you, so that they're attached as a finished board. So I will do that, and then you can see the actual board finished. I can finally cut off the excess, because obviously this board is bigger than what I need, but I didn't bother cutting it. But obviously that's going to be over there on the back box. I've got all this to cut off, so all this section will just be cut off. Enough just for a fixings. So it'll probably be about an inch higher right the way through. I was going to fix all my other meters on here, but I just don't think it's big enough to do that, because I've got my TDS meter and other various ones. But what I will do, I'll put them on their own little board now I've done this one. So my Milwaukee, my boiler controls, I'm going to put them all on their own separate little board. Anyway, that's where I'm at, and I'll see you in a minute when I'm doing the electrics. Next, wire these boxes up. So I'm going to put a switch on there, tools needed, pair of pliers, pair of side cutters, good electrical screwdriver, earth sheathing, and some 2.5 cable. what I'm going to do is I'll feed this cable from the back. I'm going to come from the back here. I'm going to measure it out to my other socket at the far side. So I'll measure that out, cut it off, then when we get down to that one, I'll show you what I'll be doing with that one as well. But basically I'm going to produce a ring main in here that I can connect to my ring main in my filter house. So I want it all on the same ring, not spurred off or anything like that, all on the ring main. So this is how I'm going to do it, so bear with me. Right, I haven't shown that, but I fed this down the back of the board to the other socket. Quick and easy way of doing these. I basically cut the end of my cable there, just nick it in anywhere you want, open it out, find your earth, put your pliers on it and just pull. Just enough that you need for the socket. Pull the rest down, side cutters, cut off your excess that you don't need, making sure you don't cut through your cables. As you say, we've all done that before. And then just trim all off level. So they're all trimmed off nice and level. So that's for that one. And then side cutters again. I'll just leave about say 10 millimeters on there, and just gently squeeze on it and pull, and it just pulls it off in one nice movement. Again, on there, about 10 millimeters, push down slightly, or grip slightly, and pull at the same time, and just pulls it off nice and neat. So there's one cable. Now I'm going to bring the other cable through. I need to connect it in one go, but I'm going to leave that in a loop. So when I make these boards, if I make any more, I'll leave enough loop on here to go to your nearest ring main, and same on the other socket, so that it's in and out. Yeah, so I'll leave enough loop on the back that you can do enough with it. So bear with me. Right, so there's my, so let's just say that's my incoming. So same again, cut it there, open it up, find your earth, pair of pliers, grip, and just pull down nice and smoothly. Yeah, and sort of get it to about the same length as the other one, which that is. Again, open it up, cut it off there. Where I pulled that, and you get that bend where I pulled it with the pliers, that's normally where I just cut them all at level, so I've got all nice straight pieces. And again, about 10 millimeters, that gives enough for both cables to go inside your socket. About 10 millimeters again, and pull. And then it's just a matter of separating them all out and into the back of here. I've already undone these. They're always marked, but brown's always live, blue's always neutral, and then we'll put some earth sheathing on that, which I'll show you in a minute. So you've got live, neutral, earth. Earth is always the one that is connected to this band that goes to your socket screws as well. So it's all earthed out correctly. Anyway, so what I'll do, we'll start with my neutral down the bottom. That's the blues. Put one in there. I've already opened it up. Push one in. Push the other one in. And as you can see, there's nothing showing. When I did at 10 millimeters, there's no copper showing, just the protected cable. And just get your screwdriver in, tighten it up. Give it a good pull, make sure it's nice and tight because you don't want them coming out. And that's that one. Same again, so just put them to one side, nice and neat. Put both of your lives up and push them both in. Same again, as you can see, nice and neat, no copper showing. Tighten up. Give it a good tighten all, make sure it's very tight. Pull it tight. Right, now the earth sheathing. So sheathe these earths up. You can buy this in, I think, metre rolls, whatever. I've got like 25 metres because I do a lot of electrics, but Yeah, it's just a hollow sheathing with the earth colours on. That just pushes over. Then I push that down. I push mine right down so it covers the whole lot, and then I bend it to find out where the end is. So that's the end of my actual copper cable. So I know that's the end. So I hold that, pull it off a bit, and then I cut back about 10mm again. Push it on, and then I've got what I need. Same again on the other one. Push it down so it's tight to the bottom. Bend it over, there it is. Hold it where it is, pull it back, and then cut about 10mm down. Push it on, and again, perfect. And then again, straight over into the earth. Into the earth. And again, as you can see, no copper cable showing. Do it up tight. Make sure they're in there, and they're in. And then what I do is just fix this down. So what I do, I don't want these ones coming through to the back of there, so they will get clipped up the back. So what I'll do is I will hold underneath and push down like so. So now I know everything exposes inside that socket, and at the back, which I'll show you later on, is just the cable, the grey cable. And then just a simple thing of just tightening these up. Don't use a drill on these, they're very easy to crack. Use a proper screwdriver. There you go. One socket. Done. Next thing, fit these plugs. Take solenoids. I just throw out a very, very small charge just to power them up and release the solenoid. And when the power goes off, it shuts down. So makes a difference which way you have the wires round. It comes with the normal jack on the end. I'm just going to cut that off. And I'll show you how we connect all these up. I'm just crimping it up. So, little trick on those pliers. Just makes it a bit easier to hold it in position while you just tap that in, start it off. Watch. Do the same again, another one. So, you can see, hold it in position how you want it. Straighten that out. Like so, leave a bit of a little bit that you need there. Into position, and again, take it away, finish it off. That'll get you to roughly where you want to be. So, let me just turn you around a touch, there you go. So I'm going to put another one down here, as you can see. Put another one in there. Again, I'm going to hold it the other way this time so that the nail is facing that side, so when I curl it round it holds it, stops it pulling the clip out. So I'm going to put it that way. You see what I'm saying? So I'm sure you can. And again, start her off. Make sure she's down tight. Finish it off. And then I want these to go onto these two here. So I'm thinking about that space there. So I'm going to cut that there. Get rid of the excess cable and get with your nails, just pull them apart. Two cables here, there you go. Just ease them apart. That's enough. And like I say, it doesn't matter which one goes to which, because it's just putting a very low voltage through that just to open up the solenoid. So again, like I did with the power cables, about 10mm, maybe a bit less on these. Just nip it off very gently. So just grip the wire, just gentle squeeze and pull. Be very careful easily, because obviously you can break these quite easily. Right, a lot of people use proper crimping tools to do this. By all means use one. I don't. Show you what I do. Right, anyway, push that into there. As you can see, these are the red ones. Just push that in and it goes into position. When it's in position, I just use my old trusty grips, like I do everything. And just in where that jaw is, I just squeeze down tight. And that holds it beautifully. So that's going nowhere. Let's give it another go, because obviously I'm doing it on film, so I'm going to double check I'm right. Yeah, going absolutely nowhere. Same again on the other one. Push her in, you can see the little coupler come through. And again, squeeze her in tight as you can. And that's done. And just push it on. I'm facing downwards, nice and neatly. Nice and neatly, all on there nice. If you want to make it a little bit neater, you can. I'm just going to tuck mine underneath there. Little lift, tuck it under. So there you go. All done, nice and neat. Tucked up under. And that's what it looks like from above when it's on the wall. If you come down here, I've already pre-done this one here. So again, Chapo plug, nicely neatly clipped along. And that goes through to that one there. By the way, I don't think I showed you actually, I think I forgot, but there's my M8 bolts. So they're M8 30s. So, and they're all bolted down now, so nice and firm. There we go. So next is basically wire this up, which is quite simple. Let's just put a plug onto that. I don't think I need to show you that. Basically, you're going to do this: put your cable through, wire it to live neutral earth, and we're going to run that through a vary plug, as I showed you before. And for this should just show you how many watts we're using. Just out of interest, once I've set it, I don't need that vary plug. I can take it away. Sorry, I don't need the wattage meter on there. I'll take the vary plug away and the wattage meter away and put the vary plug, just the vary plug, back on there. And I can use that for other things, because yeah, that's just there to see what wattage I've got to. There you go. Well, I hope you all enjoyed that. Thank you for joining me again on part 3 of the RO build. If you wouldn't mind, like, subscribe, thumbs up, thumbs down, all that stuff you need to do just to keep the channel going. It's been emotional. See you on part 4 when it's up and running and I explain how you use this system.